Let's start with a quick recap of EL, ELT, and ETL. EL is extract and load. This refers to when data can be imported as is into a system. ELT, or extract, load and transform, allows raw data to be loaded directly into the target and transformed whenever it is needed. For example, you might provide access to the raw data through a view that determines whether the user wants all transactions or only reconciled ones. ETL, or extract, transform and load, is a data integration process in which transformation takes place in an intermediate service before it is loaded into the target. For example, the data might be transformed in data flow before being loaded into BigQuery. When would you use EL? The bottom line is that you should use EL only if the data is already clean and correct. Perhaps you have log files in cloud storage. You can extract data from files on cloud storage and load it into BigQuery's native storage. This is a simple REST API call. You can trigger this pipeline from Cloud Composer, Cloud Functions, or via a scheduled query. You might even set it to work in micro-batches, not quite streaming, but near real-time. Whenever a new file hits cloud storage, the cloud function runs, and the function invokes a BigQuery job. The data transfer service in BigQuery will also work here. Use EL for batch loading historical data or to do scheduled loads of log files. But let me emphasize, use EL only if the data is already clean and correct. ELT starts with EL. So, the loading is the same and could work the same way. File hits cloud storage, function invokes BigQuery load, table appended to. The big difference is what happens next. The table might be stored in a private dataset, and everyone accesses the data through a view which imposes data integrity checks. Or maybe you have a job that runs a SQL query with a destination table. This way, transformed data is stored in a table that everyone accesses. When do you use ELT? One common case is when you don't know what kind of transformations are needed to make the data usable. For example, let's say someone uploads a new image. You invoke the Vision API and back comes a long JSON message about all kinds of things in the image, text in the image, whether there's a landmark, a logo, what objects, what will an analyst need in the future? You don't know. So you store the raw JSON as is. Later, if someone wants to count the number of times a specific company's logos are in this set of images, they can extract logos from the JSON and then count them. Of course, this works only if the transformation that's needed can be expressed in SQL. In the case of the Vision API, the result is JSON, and BigQuery SQL has support for JSON parsing. So, ELT will work in this case.